Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of Football Unfiltered, and today we'll be looking at Champions League review and also we'll be looking at Premier League preview. And here in the studio we have our Arsenal fan Emmanuel and Chelsea fan Glaze. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, first off we'll be looking at Arsenal PSG game, and I'll be starting with you, my Arsenal fan. Saying that your team defeated PSG, and also knowing that this Chelsea fan here did not support your team to defeat PSG with all the negative energy. Emmanuel, what do you think?
Well, one thing about a true Arsenal fan is that we are unperturbed. Okay. So like I earlier said, one thing about being an Arsenal fan is that we are unperturbed because we've seen a lot. Like people always say, we are a near success syndrome, we are bottleneck and blah blah blah. So those words have actually made us strong. So right now, I don't see any team as a threat to Arsenal now. I don't see any team as a threat. So I was confident. I said it here in the studio that Arsenal was going to beat Chelsea. Beat PSG.
What has Chelsea done to you?
Because we'll still beat Chelsea.
What has Chelsea done
but
to you?
We'll get to
we
that.
We are talking about PSG.
Yeah, I'm using Chelsea because I'm anticipating that.
We are so big
match.
that when you sleep, you think about us. You're in the Champions League. I'm not even there. You're talking about Chelsea. What has Chelsea done to you? Talk about PSG.
I mistakenly said Arsenal is going to beat Chelsea. It shows that I'm anticipating.
Why are you mistaken? Why are you always mistaken? This is not the first time you're mistaken. You see Chelsea in your dreams. That's why every second you're talking about.
I can't wait to calm you down a little. I can't wait.
We are going to be in this studio. We'll preview it and we'll review it.
Thank you.
And we'll be here. I'm ready for that day. That day will come. PSG Arsenal.
So back to Arsenal PSG. I said it earlier in the studio that Arsenal was going to beat PSG, not because PSG is not an experienced club, but because currently Arsenal has the quality of players in every position. We have at the defense, we have at the midfield, we have at the attacking position. So in PSG, I think after the exit of Mbappe and the likes, I mean PSG was no longer the PSG we used to know. Forget the fact that yes, they are topping the league, but then this is Champions League where you bring out your best. So to me, it wasn't a surprise for me. Yeah, it wasn't a surprise. So I want to hear my colleague please say his own. But for me, I predicted Arsenal to win PSG, and it came out as predicted. We defeated PSG from the beginning of the match, from ball possession, from the ball control. They are everything. So congrats to us. We are now in the Champions League for the business now. We are in Champions League. Thank you.
I never even expected Arsenal to win. I was even backing. That very day I was backing Glaze somehow.
Because you're feeling Chelsea fan. It's fine. I'm
So please, I don't want to use the word disappointed because I know you are actually disappointed because it didn't really fall into what you expected, because you predicted PSG to win Arsenal based on the fact that they have more Champions League experience than Arsenal. So Blaze, how would you express your disappointment about Arsenal game? So to you, Blaze, I know during our last preview game, you were supporting PSG to defeat Arsenal. And I know right now you're already disappointed with the result, the outcome of the results of the game. So please, can you share your disappointment with us?
Before I'll correct you, I'm not disappointed because Arsenal is in the Premier League. They're an England team, so even though that I said that PSG will win them, their winning is given. I support an England team, so if an England team wins in the Champions League, it means that of course they are representing us well. So assuming they lost, of course you know I will not be sounding like this, but they won. I'm a good sportsman, so I will first of all tell Emma congratulations on winning PSG. Of course, is something exceptional. This is the first time that Arsenal. I know that they won Champions League matches last season, but we call this kind of win a statement win. winning a team like PSG.
Yeah.
For PSG, I talked about their experience in the last review, and I talked about how when you look at the Champions League, they are the better side. They are the side that have experienced the Champions League. But I went to watch PSG. Fortunately or unfortunately for me, I was sitting with Emma in the same viewing center spot, and I was asking Emma, what's happening? Is this the PSG that I know? I was not seeing. In fact, the standout player that day was a defender. That's the right back.
Yeah,
he was the standout player that day. Every other player was what it was until the coach made a change in the second half that I started seeing PSG play little football. But for the bulk of the game, Arsenal really dominated that game. And you have to ask questions: what is really happening with what PSG played in that game? I'm wondering how they are still winning their league and how they are still topping their league. But because they didn't play like PSG, they didn't play like people that top their league. They didn't play like champions. Let me use that word. So it's really I'm looking for the right word to use, because it's Arsenal, for goodness sake. So if it's a team that have this Champions League experience, it's different. You're playing an Arsenal team, so why are you playing like you're playing a Real Madrid team? I'm not bantering Emmanuel. It's Arsenal. I know. I'm not bantering. It's Arsenal in the Champions League. Why are you? I think PSG gave Arsenal too much respect, because it's Arsenal in the Champions League. If it's in the Premier League, I can. In the Champions League, no. They didn't play to my expectation. I feel that going into the next game, the coach has a lot to do if they want to go into the next stage of the Champions League.
Okay, let's look into the next game that was played within the week, which is between Barcelona and Young Boys. Just like you guys analyzed in the last preview, you guys analyzed that Young Boys will always be Young Boys. So I'll be starting with you, Blaze. What do you have to say about this game?
So Young Boys versus Barcelona. The thing is that, like we said, I and Emma, for once, we agreed on the same thing in the studio. So we said that Young Boys will definitely be Young Boys, and we knew that it will be a game that Barcelona will not just score, they will score well, and it was exactly what happened. After 3 minutes or 4 minutes in the game, Lewandowski has already scored that first goal. So I didn't see Barca really dominated as we expected. Young Boys did not do anything. I don't know what they are doing in the Champions League. This is their second heavy loss already, and it's already looking like after the group stage they are just going home. It's unfortunate for them. It's unfortunate for them that they've not really started well, and they've been seeing serious teams. Don't overlook Young Boys. If they have played a team like Manchester United, if Man U can draw to 20, of course it's possible that Young Boys they can lose to Young Boys. So Barcelona really dominated that game like we expected. They have a coach that really, like we have always expected, that they have a coach that has this winning mentality, and anytime he's winning, he wants to score, he wants to dominate the game. The totality of that game was dominance. They really showed that they are the bigger boys.
Yes, all right. Okay, so to you, Emmanuel, what do you have to say about this game, Barcelona Young Boys game?
So, well, I wouldn't want to dwell much on that, because it was a game that we predicted that outcome was going to be that Barcelona will use that experience to actually gain more goals, or let's say get goals to their advantage, because this is the league stage of the Champions League. So goals actually matter. So it was not a surprise to me. Like, the name implies young boys. They were young boys. They didn't have they didn't have what it takes to withstand a Barcelona team who is a Champions League favorite kind of.
Adult boys.
Even though they have a young boy like Lamine Yamal that didn't even want to say, okay, let me sympathize with my fellow young boys. He was playing as if he's a man.
Let's talk about that Barcelona team. You look at the likes of Yamal, you look at the likes of Pedri. I think they have a Kubasa, a defender. These are young boys.
So why don't they sympathize with them? And just play with them a little. They were playing with them and we were showing them seniority.
It
was, to me, there was no comradeship in that game. They were just playing, like people who are actually more experienced than them. But then it's football.
Okay, going into the next the next game that was played within the week, which is between Bayer Leverkusen and AC Milan. Fortunately, Bayer Leverkusen defeated AC Milan 1-0.
As expected.
As expected.
Of course.
So, Emmanuel, what do you have to say about this game?
That game was supposed to end 2-0. I think the first goal was actually cancelled.
Yes, offside.
So nobody would have expected AC Milan to win Bayer Leverkusen because the last game against Liverpool, they were at home and they could not win Liverpool. Then how much one a Bayer Leverkusen that is actually in form now? You know, you talk about Boniface. Now he has his first Champions League goal, and you know, it's a game that we expected Leverkusen to actually score at least 3 goals or let's say 2 goals. But then they grabbed the 3 points and it was expected. Yeah.
So Blaze, over to you.
Honestly, if you listen to what I said in the review, I said something that AC Milan is the experienced team. So unlike Emma, I did not expect a heavy win from Bayern Leverkusen.
Okay.
What I expected is that they will win, but they will find it difficult. Yes, exactly. Because if you watch the game, you understand that immediately after Leverkusen scored, the bulk of the game, AC Milan dominated that game. And they were quite unfortunate not to score. But at the moment, AC Milan, even though that they are the more experienced team, they are not informed when compared to what Bayer Leverkusen is doing. But what I want to point out from the match is that my guy, like I begged him, you know, in the review I said that Boniface should score, and if he scores, he's not just making me happy, he's making Nigerians happy. So he made the Nigerians happy and made us proud. So I think it's a good outing for Leverkusen. Young squad, young coach, doing a lot already in the Champions League. We saw what they did in their league last season, where they finished the league without losing. Already they are in the Champions League and they are showing that they are not just coming here to pass time, they are coming here to actually compete. Exceptional for them. I like what they have done. Winning AC Milan is a statement win. I know that they are not informed, but it's something that Leverkusen won AC Milan. 2 years, 3 years ago, it's not something that is normal. But they've done it. They have gone home with that 3 points, and it's something to give kudos to them for.
Okay, so let's look at the next game that was played within the week, which is between Manchester City and Bratislava. Just as expected, just as predicted, Man City defeated Bratislava. So I'll be starting with you, Blaze. What do you have to say about this game?
Like I said in the review, what is the Bratislava? I've never heard that. I've never heard of that team before. The fact that the Celtic won them 5-0, I was even expecting that Man City will make it 6 or 7, will make it more. But the Man City scored 4 and they won that match as expected. Even though that Man City, I pointed it out that they have injury problems, they have some issues in the team. A player like Rodri is not there, KDB is not there, Foden is not at his best. But meeting a Slovan that nobody knows before now, even if they are playing with one leg, they should comfortably win them, and they comfortably won them. So I think as expected is the normal thing that would have happened. What would have been abnormal is if Bratis tried to even play with them, like tried to even go head to head with them. But it was from the beginning of the match to the end of the match, Man City showed that, come, you are the bigger boys, you're small boys. Thank you for coming to the Champions League. You can go back now.
So Emmanuel, what was your take on this match?
Well, I would say the game was not interesting to me. At some point, I had to switch. How can you be watching a football match and only one particular team
is playing?
like everywhere they crossed the border, see they were playing against 22 players in Man City. You know, so the game was not interesting to me. I was not surprised. I wasn't surprised when I was even expecting like maybe 5-6-0 at the end of the day. But then they actually were able to, you know, and defend some goals. But that game was supposed to produce more than 5 goals. Man City actually did a lot in that game. They did a lot in that game. But then it was expected. Bratislava, thanks for coming anyway.
maybe they should play Arsenal next and give them another 3 points.
So viewers, if you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly click on the like, subscribe button. Don't forget to drop your opinion on the comment section below. Thank you. Let's look at one of the shock of the week game. which was between Aston Villa and Bayern Munich game. I didn't see that coming. I never even imagined Aston Villa was going to defeat Bayern Munich. I was starting with you, my guy, my Chelsea guy. What's your take on this game, Aston Villa, Bayern Munich?
Funny enough, unlike many people, I'm not surprised. Even though that during the review I pointed out that Bayern Munich should win the game. But remember that I also pointed out that Aston Villa is a good competition and they have an exceptional coach. That I think that even if Bayern eventually wins, it will not be with a long margin. I was thinking maybe a 1-0 to 0 match. But watching that game and seeing what happened, I wasn't surprised. I feel that, like I say during the Premier League review, that I always say that Aston Villa is no longer a team that you look at as a small team. I was thinking about it after the game, and I thought about it. If you look at Company as a coach and you look at Emery as a coach, the person with the better experience is Emery. Emery has more than one Europa League trophy, and he's been in the picture for a while now. Company just had this big leap from the championship to coaching Bayern Munich. Don't get me wrong, he's doing exceptionally well already with what he has done. I think this is his first loss so far in all competitions. He's losing for the first time against Aston Villa. So for me, I wasn't too surprised. But there are two things you should look. I wanted to point out that happened from the game. Number one, what's his name? Martinez, the goalkeeper, the Aston Villa goalkeeper. He's a beast. He's too good. You know, when we talk about Martinez, we just say that Martinez is good whenever he's playing for Argentina. Because of when he's playing for Argentina, he looks like a different player altogether. He's something else playing for Argentina. That's how they won that Copa America 2 times and they won the World Cup. I think since he started keeping for Argentina, they've lost only once. And anytime you see him wearing that Argentina jersey, he turns he's always exceptional. And he became that Argentina goalkeeper against Bayern in this game. Because if you listen to pundits and you listen to journalists, what they always say is that, can he replicate this with Aston Villa? Don't get me wrong, he's good with Aston Villa, but there's something that when a goalkeeper wins you game, this kind of game is a kind of game that a goalkeeper, because you're wondering Bayern, even if Aston Villa wants to win, Bayern should score. You get, so what was the difference? The difference was that they were actually dominating, they were actually playing to the post, and somebody was on the post keeping these shots. Is there anything that Kane did not do? What's his name? Is there anything this Crystal Palace player Olise did not do? There's nothing they did not do to actually score, and this guy found something else. Another player I wanted to point out is Duran. I don't wish to be Emery at the moment, because how can you have what's his name again? The striker, the Aston Villa main striker, Watkins. How can you have only Watkins and have Duran on the bench? You'll be wondering who should I play, because Duran every match is coming in and he's scoring. Even though I told Bube after the match, I told you, what was that Bayern's keeper doing coming out of his post? But Duran got that opportunity immediately and he scored. So if I am an Aston Villa coach, I'll be wondering, who am I even to start? Who am I to bench? But that guy is showing quality. Again, you know that I know Chelsea is not in the Champions League, but I'll always bring in my team. Shout out to the Chelsea scouts, because Chelsea scouts actually this guy would have been in Chelsea at the moment, but our fan base, unfortunately, fan based. I know Emma has a lot to say.
So Emmanuel, over to you. What do you have to say about this game?
Well, I won't say much, because my colleague here, Blaze, has said a lot about it, but then it was a shocker to me. It was a shocker to me, because I know that when it comes to experience, yes, Aston Villa has a good coach, but the quality of players, the quality of players in Bayern cannot really be compared to Aston Villa. But
sorry to cut you short. Bayern has better quality players, but Aston Villa also have quality players. Because even currently, you can't tell me Watkins is not quality, or their goalkeeper is not quality, or even their midfield that they got from Everton is not quality. So they have quality players. So what I will agree with you is that Bayern have the better
quality players.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. So I was shocked because of what we analyzed and what we predicted before that game. We didn't see Aston Villa coming to win that game. We felt Aston Villa would say, okay, fine, this is a Champions League and this is a senior team. Yes. We can actually get a draw at worst, but coming to get that game to win. And funny enough, Aston Villa scored in the first half and VAR cancelled.
Cancelled the goal. Yes.
So it shows that Aston Villa came
prepared to win.
I mean, so what happened to Bayern? What happened to them? Like, and apart from the fact that Martinez was a beast in that game, but Bayern, I know, would actually want to find a way to at least net one goal in that game because they had the chances. The midfield, they are attacking, and
they created well. The goal refused to come.
So, but then it's football. It's football. Anything can happen in football. Anything can happen, but we see it as one of the things that makes the Champions League interesting, where you cannot wish away any team now. You can't. Who respect Aston Villa? I mean, even if you're a child and you're hearing Aston Villa Bayern, you'll be like, Bayern Munich will win. Bayern will win. But yesterday, the world was actually mum yesterday. People kept quiet. A lot of people did not know what to say until today. I started hearing some analysis on some comments. But yesterday, people were just quiet. They were like, wow. But that is
something that can make you shocked.
But then that is what makes football.
That's why we love football.
That's why we always encourage our viewers to always to subscribe if you're not subscribed, so that you can get more of interesting analysis like this.
Keep
you updated and you're happy.
Exactly.
So thank you, BUBE.
Well, it takes a smart player to take that advantage during noticing that the keeper was not at the post.
Immediately I saw that clip, my thought was, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know. I've watched interviews of goalkeepers, and they talk about how they, when before every match, they try to research on players, the way they play, and all that. So you're seeing Duran,
honestly.
And that Duran is a kind of striker that he doesn't. If it's a Jackson will trap and want to carry the ball. But Duran is that kind of striker that once he sees a chance, he plays once. He doesn't play. So for a professional goalkeeper, why are you running out at that point?
Why are you running?
So I'm giving it to Duran. Oh God, it was so exceptional. Yeah, it is. Okay, let's look at another shock of the week game, which was between Lille and Madrid. None of us saw this one coming. Nobody predicted Lille to win Madrid. I didn't see it. You didn't see it, Blaze, and Emmanuel, you didn't see it. So I'll be starting with you, Blaze. What are your thoughts on this game?
BUBE, what do you want me to talk about?
Thank you.
They don't review this match. I just said Hala Madrid. What is it? Everybody was saying that what can Lille do? That is Madrid now. And unfortunately, exactly like we were saying for Aston Villa, this is actually why we love football. This is why it's like we enjoy this thing. We are passionate about football. When somebody that looks like an underdog just comes and surprises you. So it was like a huge surprise to me. I didn't really watch the game, but waking up in the morning and I saw that Lille won Madrid. I'm like, where did they go wrong? Because they have the better coach, they have the better players, they have the better squad. Even if anybody did not play, it's a kind of game that you would think that even if Madrid plays with one leg, they should comfortably win 2-0. So it's surprising. The only thing I'll be saying is that maybe because we are still in the group stages and Madrid knows that they have other games to play that they can win, and maybe they didn't play with their best strength. But even this is a Champions League match, you should be playing with your ears. You should win any game you can win. But I know that Madrid will eventually qualify, but I don't know why they lost. A lot of players have complained, coaches have complained about the number of matches that are being played and all that. So sometimes it affects
Affects,
this big
exactly.
team. When you are playing in the weekend, you're still playing in the midweek. Before you know it, you're playing in the weekend again. And the same thing, week in, week out, going for international breaks. There's another international break by December, and all that is stressful. And sometimes it's unknowingly these players, it affects these players. So that's the only excuse I can come up with, except that this is a game that Madrid should have won.
That's why we love football. Most times you can't predict it, and that's why it's football. So Emmanuel, I would love to get your take on this game.
It was actually a shocker to me, honestly speaking. It was really a shocker to me because I didn't see where Lily would have actually won that game. You know, if any pastor had prophesied, I mean, by now he should be looking for more chairs in his church because you will see people coming to that church.
Yeah.
You will see crowd. No pundits. No professional pundit anywhere could have actually predicted Lille to win Madrid. Not even to score. We know Madrid is a team that in the first half they can play with you. But it's a team that they can just take it like it's just a training. Then when it comes to second half, they begin to come into you.
When you look at Madrid, 80-something minutes to 100 minutes, it's like 1 hour.
Madrid is like if you're winning Madrid 2-0. And you're celebrating, you're winning. When it's 85 minutes, just get ready to start getting concede. So that is when Madrid starts playing ball. But funny enough, I watched the game and
it didn't work.
Even in the second half, Lille was still playing like with all. I think they knew, or probably they watched the Madrid games. They knew how Madrid play at the 9 minutes, so they actually came in. They just decided to allow
with the right mentality.
At the 50-something minutes, they were still playing, like weak. But when they got to that point now, when Madrid they came out as well. So surprisingly, they won.
So Emma, I would have asked, what do you think? Do you think that this Madrid juju will really work this season? When you're just relaxing?
See, anybody who is predicting Madrid to win this championship this season actually is going to be some kind of, because Madrid now is like people have started knowing how Madrid they know, because Madrid is a team that they will not score first half, even if they have chances. Now look at Lille scoring first half, meaning that they know that if we can score these guys first half,
we can sit back.
Thank you. So Madrid should change their pattern of play now. They should just change it. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult for them.
It's Ancelotti. Well, let's watch. It's football.
Yeah, it's football. But then
Madrid might shock you next match. and everything you have said now, you change your thought.
They will change it. From the first side, you will see like
they will score you
3-0. But that's what makes football interesting.
Yes, that's
when you see the unexpected, it makes it interesting. So
silence. Okay, so let's look at the next game of the week, which was between Liverpool and Bologna. Liverpool won with 3-0. So I was starting with you, Blaze. What are your thoughts on this game?
Like I said, what is a Bologna?
I said it was. What is a Bologna? How did they get here?
Emma was trying to give respect to whom respect is due, and he was saying 2-0 kind of match.
Yes,
I told him that this is Liverpool. When they start scoring, they want to score more. So what we expected happened. The only thing I wanted to point out in this match is that we should start giving Salah his respect.
Honestly, that guy.
I'm a Chelsea fan. I respect Didier Drogba. I respect that he's arguably the best African player to ever play in the Premier League. But I think it's time we start having conversations about how Salah is also exceptional when it comes to Africans that have played in the Premier League. So that's what I wanted to point out. It's something to be a good player, and it's another thing to be a good player that is consistent. And that's why a player like Ronaldo and Messi stands out when you start grading players, because they've not just been good, they've been good for years, they've been consistently good. So since Salah came to this Liverpool team, he has been consistently good, and he showed that again in the Champions League. I think the last 4 or 5 Champions League games, Salah has either scored or assisted. Not every player do that. Not every player do that. So I just wanted to point out that we should give him his flowers. He's good. I know that he has not won the Africa. You know, when you grade African best players, you always bring in the bias of have you won the AFCON? I know he has not won the AFCON, but somebody that's won the Champions League, somebody that won the Premier League, give him his flowers.
Yeah.
All right. So, Emmanuel, what are your take on this thing?
Mr. Bliss has said a lot, but I'll only add that Salah is actually a star. You know, when Mane left Liverpool, a lot of people thought
he's over.
But surprisingly, that guy he's a fighter. He fights alone and he delivers. You know, unlike some players that when you don't pair them with their likes or with someone that actually catalyzes them, kind of, you see them not performing. But Salah has actually been exceptional. In every Liverpool game, we look up to Salah to score, to deliver for Liverpool. So it makes him, you know, exceptional. And I hope and I pray that he's going to actually take Liverpool to actually either winning the title this season, because I don't see Man City winning the title this season. I'm seeing between Arsenal and Liverpool, because we have seen that Man City can actually be beaten. We have seen that they cannot just win a team now. So with Liverpool showing experience or showing that fight in the Premier League now, it shows that Man City can actually, you know, struggle to win the title. Unlike when we were like, okay, this is a new season and Man City will definitely win. But as it stands now, we don't see Man City winning. So I'll give it to Salah. Salah is actually in form. He's in form.
Okay. So viewers, this is what will be coming to the end of today's show. Don't forget to drop your opinion on the comment section, and please don't forget to click on the like and subscribe button below. See you guys in our next episode.